Hello, and welcome to the Fanboys of Gaming podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the Zombie U port. We're going to be talking about Gauntlet remake, and we're going to be talking about the N64 working on current gen consoles. I'm Michael, and today we have you're Justin. That's how you
I
are.
know, but you said not here we have okay. I'm Justin, and look at this new Zombie U that's gonna be coming out to PS4 and Xbox. Is it gonna be the same type of gameplay as the one on the Wii, or are they gonna add and slash remove stuff to it to make it easier and maybe a little bit more longer lasting?
From what I know about Zombie U, it was a lot of people loved that game when it came out on the Wii U. It was like one of the best games out on it when it came out, and it does use the gamepad significantly for features. I know your inventory is on there, and I believe the mini map too. So they have to change a lot to put it on the PS4 and the Xbox One, but it could work.
I mean, I believe it'll
Uh,
work perfectly fine. It's just like I remember people always complaining that it was literally the hardest game to beat.
yeah.
And like
Well,
and if you did beat it, they would actually update the game and put your name on the floor somewhere.
yeah. They if you die in that game, your character's dead. Like that's it. They're done. And you have to go back and like pick up your inventory from your other dead character with your new character. So it was a weird concept. I mean, there's not a lot of games that are like once you're dead, you're dead. I know Fire Emblem like that, I think.
I mean, there are a couple games I know that for a fact that there is a setting you can turn on. Like I know in Diablo there's this thing called hardcore mode, and if you turn it on, if you die at all, your character is just done. Like you cannot go back in the game at
Dang,
all. I mean,
that
it's
sucks.
it's definitely for
Go
those
ahead.
like those hardcore gamers that really want that I can only live once experience and will sit there and have to make sure they take their time in order to do certain things instead of just bum rushing in there and going on a Halo style or like an older co-op where like, oh, it's okay if one person dies as long as one's alive, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't get that in Zombie U or in yeah, any game like that. I was watching there's a old old Japanese game by Capcom. And I forget what the exact name of it was, but it came out for the Famicom, and it was like that too, where you have five characters, and once they're dead, they're dead.
Is it
And I
Little
was like, that's
Samson?
really hard. No, it's like what the hell is it called? Stay at home or something like that. I forget what it's called, but it was the basis of for what they used to make Resident Evil.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
So,
I know the Resident
but it
the
never came out here.
I
Go
remember like
ahead.
one of the first Resident Evils for PS2 when they first started doing the online play for it. It was kind of
Uh,
like that. Like if you died, you didn't come back because you turned into a zombie.
huh.
Like I mean it's a little bit kind of like the same thing, but not exactly. So I mean I can't really fully compare it to it. But I definitely think that was a good feature for this game just because it's zombie based. But
Yeah.
there should be a way to turn easy mode on because I always believe that there's there's different types of gamers between ones that want the story, ones that want a little bit of both, and then ones that just want like just have to really work for the game. That's why there's games like Bloodborne and Dark Souls
Hmm.
that really make you work for what you want because once you get it, you're really like you're satisfied because you worked extremely hard to get it.
Oh yeah. Bloodborne. Many blood, sweat, and tears were shed. So much blood and a lot of tears, mostly mine. But yeah, there needs to be if you don't know going into the game that it's going to be extremely difficult, then you're gonna not have a good time if you don't like games that are extremely difficult. It sucks, but that's how games are made. You got to do a little bit of research on them to know these things. Um, let's see. Well, we were talking about older games. Have you ever played Gauntlet?
One of the very first ones, yes.
I love
Like,
that game. I remember playing it in the arcade when I
hmm
was like 4 years old. And I was like, this game's awesome. I don't understand what I'm doing, but this game's awesome. I probably spent like $6 of my dad's quarters on that stupid game, just died because I had no idea what was going on. I remember coming out on the PS2 and I was like, no. I played the shit out of that game. I love that
see,
game.
see, I never played the PS2 one. I played the 2D one where there's one of those four characters, and you literally had to run around just trying to find your way out of the dungeons.
Yeah.
And like, I can always say I always died in like the second dungeon because I had no clue where the fuck I needed to go.
That game, it didn't tell you where to go for the most part, and we were super young, so I don't remember everything about Gauntlet. They're coming out with a remake. I believe it's like an HD remake of it, or they did make an HD remake for PS3. I'm trying to figure out what exactly it was because I don't want to quote it and be wrong. So, Gauntlet Slayer Edition will be.
Well, here's the thing though. Will it be? Do you think it'll be a new story or not? Because I mean, or will they put a story in it that
It,
that it actually wasn't original that no one knew about or something like that? Because
uh,
I knew there wasn't really a lot of talking in that game, so
yeah,
it was always hard to know what you were trying to do.
that's true. It is a remake of the game with modernized graphics, enhanced controls, while also keeping the gameplay faithful to the original. That is the quote from the article I'm reading.
Okay, so it'll kind of be a beat 'em up throughout the dungeon then,
Yeah,
and going like probably wave through wave or level through level, and
yeah.
it'll still be a really good game. I mean, I believe if you can get four people to sit down and play that game, you'll be able to completely destroy it.
Oh yeah, if you have four like people that are partly into dungeon crawling games, it's fun. I love that game, and I was reading it. And the original release is from 1985. Holy shit, the
Hmm.
game is old. Well, I mean, it's old to us because it was made before we were even born. So
Oh yeah. Speaking of old, I'm kind of excited and thinking about getting an Xbox 360 now. I mean Xbox One now, just because of the N64 controller that you're going to be able to use on it for the older games like Banjo Tooie, what Conker's Bad Fur Day,
all the rare replay games,
pretty much.
that whole giant collection. Somebody's working on I believe it's an adapter for
I
the
guarantee
N64 controller.
I guarantee you they'll let you just use USB ones because I mean those are available online.
Hmm.
There's pretty
I
much
don't,
USB controllers of everything online.
huh. I have to look into it and see because I just pre-ordered my full Xbox One. I'm super
Nice.
excited.
That nice,
So I
beautiful blue.
yeah, the rare yeah, rare replay is definitely one of the games I want to get because I love older games and one of my favorite games is in there, Viva Pinata.
Oh,
Everybody
jeez.
everybody talks shit about Viva Pinata, but I
But
love that game.
I don't know if they'll let you use the N64 controller on that one just because it was from the 360.
Well, the N64 controller is being, I guess, modified is the right word for it for the Xbox One to work with the Xbox One. I don't think it's specific to Rare Replay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I think like when you map a PS4 controller or like the Xbox One or the Xbox 360 controller to your computer, I bet.
okay. I mean that makes more sense then. But I mean, it's still the fact that like you're only gonna have one joystick. I mean, I know the C buttons work pretty good as looking for the camera,
Mhm.
but it does take away four of the main buttons on that controller.
That's true. You'd have to toy around with it and see what works and what doesn't work. Like some games on the computer, I just don't like playing with a controller, and I don't really PC game. But
Mhm.
there's just some games that just aren't suitable for a controller, in my opinion. I can't do it. I prefer like mouse and keyboard for some of them. But most games I'll use a controller because it's just what I'm used to. So I mean, you'll have to play with it and find out, what you do best with it.
Hoping they'll actually let you do a little bit of mapping yourself. I mean, no game actually nowadays really lets you, unless it's
Yeah.
like moving one or two buttons, like if you're saying you're left-handed or right-handed. Because I remember the olden days where you used to be able to change everything, and now you can't.
Mhm. I wish there was more custom mapping for things like I'm trying to think. This may not apply to Xbox, but when it comes to the PlayStation mapping, I want to be able to map that freaking controller because they have the touchpad, which I could use, but no developer ever uses it for anything other than to replace the select button.
Hmm.
Like that's all they use it for, and it's a bummer because the thing could map so many different controls to it. Like what was that first person shooter that came out that was free to play? Oh no,
Oh,
free to play.
um,
It was one of the like first games you showed me on your PS4.
yeah, trying to remember what it's called. I have no clue at all.
I don't either because it's been a long time since I played it.
I
But it
it was just,
it was mapped like that. It was like it was supposed to be the free to play Call of Duty,
hmm.
and it was mapped like that. Like you could map your grenades to the like certain corners of the touchpad. You had gestures from going swiping to the right, swiping to the left, swiping up, swiping down. That was like that's awesome.
Oh,
I map more things to certain things.
it was
And
actually
then, go ahead.
It was Blacklight Retribution.
That's what it was. Black light.
The only thing that really sucked about that game was that there was microtransactions like no other.
Oh yeah, the microtransactions were like mobile gaming.
Hmm.
Like on your phone, you literally could spend like $100 on that game if you really wanted to. But I don't
Just
see why you would.
it was to get weapons because other than renting them, you couldn't actually own a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like the game was unfair in the aspect of getting the guns. If you played enough, you could you could re-rent a gun if you did well in like 3 games. You could just keep renting it.
But I mean, it just sucks. Like
But it,
you work so hard, you should be able to keep it. That's like you shouldn't be like, oh well, here's an hour with this gun, even though you just worked extremely hard just to get it. And on top of that, just to get anything for the gun, you still had to go through and rent that stuff again.
yeah, yeah. But to be fair, they did build the game completely from scratch for free.
Very true.
So I mean, you have to hit or miss. I spent a few dollars on that game. I won't lie. I probably spent like $10 or $15 on it. I didn't spend a shit ton, but I spent a little bit of money because I wanted some like extra things. I forget what I got, but because I haven't played it in so long, but I did spend some money on that game. And not speaking of, damn it, I'm losing my train of thought here. PSN. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about PSN. I want to talk about how bad
The
free
website is.
servers are on PSN. Servers are god awful. At least in America, they're god awful. Like PSN probably goes down at least once a month,
Oh yeah, definitely.
and it's
But
for like 3 days.
on
It's
top
like
of
what the
that,
fuck?
their website online to even just log in or create one is so buggy that like
Oh yeah,
when I tried creating a new PSN just for my Vita, so I wanted to get different games from like a different country, I couldn't. It just would not load the screen at all.
the uh the Japanese PSN site.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Japanese PSN site was. pain in my ass to navigate because I didn't understand. Like, I don't understand Japanese. I don't read Japanese, so I had to have Google Chrome translate it for me, and it just didn't make any sense half the time.
Well, not even that. Just like the normal PSN online, just to go and like, if you click create a username, it'll just take you to a white page, and then it just won't load.
It just doesn't load. It's just like, no,
And
nope.
it's not that I have bad internet, because I have really good internet at
Yeah,
my house.
yeah, you do. You have great internet. I'm jealous of your internet.
So it's literally just the site online.
Yeah, I don't. I have no idea, but it's gotten to the point. People have been asking. Some users, PlayStation users, have been asking for years about different features added on the PSN that are already in Xbox Live. That have been in Xbox Live forever, or not forever, but they've been there a significantly long time to the point that Sony should probably adapt some of these things because they're not gigantic features that take a lot of time. Um, One of the ones that people ask for is to change your status, like online, offline, invisibility. I'm busy, or I'm away at the moment, things like that. And the 360 had that, and that was I had the last time I had a Xbox was in 2012, 2013. So a couple of years ago, that's been there for a while.
Ex-
And no, go
ex-
ahead.
Especially since, like, I don't know if this happens a lot for you guys, but in Destiny, when I was played like PvP, you look at the map a lot just to know where like everyone is, like especially your teammates for when you're playing like a 3v3.
Hmm.
So whenever I'm playing, I'll get like a random notification, and it just blocks the whole map.
Yeah, it just blocks out your map.
Like, and especially since PSN does notifications for everything, whether someone else joins a group, someone else is in a party that they left or joined, and like if it's any of your
Oh,
friends leave or join a party, it pops up and stays up there for like 5 seconds at a time. So
I
like
just deleted everything except for core things.
that's
I
what
turned off most of the notifications. I was like, fuck this.
that's literally what I had to end up doing. Like you should never have to do that just because like it's bothering you gaming. Like
Most of the things that are like consistent are like when my friend joins a party. I'm like, I don't care when my friend joins a party personally. Like if I want to talk to them, I'll send them a party invite or I'll message them. I don't like I don't need to know when they're in a party. It doesn't really bother me. But I would like to know when people get online. That'd be great.
hmm
I don't care necessarily about them getting off. That doesn't matter to me. But like getting on, that should be a thing. Should be like, oh, hey, your friend signed on. Instead of just like, when are you getting on? I'm on.
or
How long
or
have you been on? Like 20 minutes. What the
or
fuck?
if PlayStation went with the style of Android where the little bar came up and then you use the touchpad to pull it down, that would be cool. Just PlayStation a little hint
Oh,
there. But no,
notification
no,
bar.
no, that's
Oh,
not gonna happen just because
no.
like they're not going to do that. But that would be a really cool thing. The same thing with Xbox. They have some really cool notifications.
Yeah, the notification. I never had any problems with notifications on Xbox. Occasionally, like I'd be playing a game and it'd pop up in my way or something like that, but not nearly as bad as it is on PlayStation.
No, not at all.
And let me see what else here. People are asking for some stuff that like I said aren't significant thing. Continuous trophies syncing, so like your trophies would just stay continuously synced instead of every time you get a trophy. And like I've gotten a trophy and then I'm like, what did I do? And I hit the trophy button and then I sit there and I wait for like 6 minutes while the trophy's loading. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
why does this have to load in every single fucking time? It's so annoying. It's like just have it be there. I've never had that problem with my Xbox. When I had my Xbox, I get an achievement. I hit the Xbox button. Boop, right there. What did I do? This is what you did. Okay, great. Thanks. Boop, back to my game. It comes to the point where I'm like, no, I don't even care anymore. And I just back to my game.
hmm
I was like, fuck you and your trophies then.
I mean, I can definitely say if they put more into like their actual software, it would be make the online play in that a lot better. Like you said, the online and offline visibility. Like
Yeah.
I guess it'd be cool if they can make not like an offline invisibility, but like a private mode. Like you could set it just so that people can't contact you while you're playing.
Yeah, or have it like where you turn off yeah, like it turns off notifications or something like that while you're playing.
hmm But
Because
like,
sometimes I just don't want to fucking talk to people. I'm like, I just want to play my game.
but it'd be nice if it was in like your Plus account or being able to just go in and check a box instead of having to go through all the settings, you
No, I
know,
know.
finding it and then just clicking like.
There's like 800 different notification settings. It's like, do you want to know when your friend gets a trophy and when your friend starts live streaming and when your friend goes to take a poop? And it's like, no, I don't care. I just want to know if they message me or they invite me to a party. That's all I want to know. That's all I need to know. And trophies. That's
The,
it. I
the
don't
thing
care
that
about anything else.
the thing that sucks the most is that most of the stuff that you have to turn on or off is like usually big things. It's not like it'll be like
Yeah, they're kind of like grouped together.
mhm. Like it'll turn off notifications for like messaging, and that'll be like everything, as in when they send you invites and that, and it really sucks.
Yeah, it's way too broad with some things. Uh, a lot of people are annoyed by. uh, Sony's had the PSN for 5 or 6 years now. I think it's 5 years because no, it has to be longer than 5 years. Because no, wait. There was PSN. PSN didn't come out when it was on when the PS3 launched, did it? Didn't it come out after?
PSN has been out since the PSP.
Since the PSP. Okay. So yeah, it's been a couple of years. I forget why I thought 5. I think it's because
It's been
uh
longer than 5, I think.
they sent out Sony was sending out like gifts for people, like with I guess like a lot of their like played games and trophies and things like that. It was something like it's like a poster kind of thing, and I think it's like if you have PSN from like 5 years ago back, then you get that reward or something like that. I don't know. I think that's what I was thinking 5. I don't know why I asked that because I had PS3 when I was in like, this 8th grade and I was playing online with people. I don't even know why I asked that. That was stupid. Um,
Mhm.
I'm looking down this list of stuff so I can figure out because some of these things are like more specific to certain people than they are for everyone. I'm just trying to pick ones that
I can definitely say though, I can understand if the service wasn't as reliable, if it was as free as it was on the PS3. But
mhm.
now that you have to pay for it, it should be reliable as can be. The same thing as the Xbox because you're paying the same exact price.
Yeah, you're paying the exact same price, and that I don't understand because like I get it. The PS3 is still running, so PSN servers still have to run on PS3, and you have to run the PSP or the PS Vita servers for PSN. But I don't. I think the PSP servers are done. I think they closed the PSP servers, but don't quote me on that.
The PSP servers were never good.
Well, yeah, I mean the, the PSN servers weren't that great when PS3 on the PS3 when it was free, and that was the trade off when because I had a 360, my buddy had a PS3, and well PSN 3, and I'm like, yeah, but I couldn't fucking play any games because the fucking PSN kept going down so much because servers were so shitty, and that's just like a that's just a it's a partially my opinion and partially fact. Because I have my PS4 now, still like PSN goes down, and I'm like, well, shit. I'm glad I don't want to play games with anybody this weekend. Like that's
Mm.
great.
Especially now that games are all online, like Tamriel Online, um,
Yeah,
Destiny, like games like that are only online, you can't play at all. Like there's no point to buying the game, and it really sucks because just like
no,
like even if you go and get the disc, and you have no internet, you cannot play the game, which is, I believe, just to not be fair.
Yeah, and that sucks. And at least, okay, for Sony was fair on Christmas when the PSN servers went down for like 3 or 4 days. They extended everyone who had PlayStation Pluses, PlayStation Plus for another 3 days. But they don't do that every time the freaking servers go down. So it's like paying for service that I don't even get to use sometimes, and that's not right. It's shitty. Like, make the stuff work. They're so concerned about all these other things right now, like PlayStation View and PlayStation Now, and it's like, just make PSN work. Because without PSN working, I can't even do those extra things you're adding in that you want me to do, which I'm not going to do. But I don't even have the option to attempt to try them because PSN's down again.
Yeah, very
You
true.
know, PSN isn't down at the moment we're recording this, but it's just so frequent. Like last weekend was out for 2 or 3 days. For not most people, but some people couldn't access it, and that's a problem. It's a problem when you hear people consistently complain about your service, and more than like legitimately be able to complain instead of going just your servers suck. But like it sucks. I'm paying for something that doesn't work. I think that's it for this one. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, check us out on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching it right now, subscribe. And we have links for our descriptions for our website and more articles down below. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Justin.
Mike,
Have a good
and
rest of the day.
we'll see you on Monday.